Now, curves on surface can be used to build other surfaces. They can also be used to do what's called trimming NURBS surfaces. Now, this is a way to take a NURBS surface and trim away part of that surface. So the trim tool typically works with a curve on surface. So let's go ahead to this stovepipe, and previously I projected this curve onto that surface. And as you can see, we have two curves here. So if we select this and go into Surfaces, Trim Tool, notice how my icon changes. So let's say I wanted to create a hole in the front of this fireplace flue. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and click and select those objects I want to keep. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one and this one. That one I'm not going to. And when we hit enter, what happens is that it trims away anything that's not selected. So now I have a very nice hole in that fireplace. And this is great if I want to, say, route it into another tube or something like that. And in fact, if we want, we could do that simply by selecting this trim edge. So if I right click above this, you'll see that I have an option called Trim Edge. And so when I select this, I can also shift select another curve. And then if we wanted to, we could do Surfaces Loft, and that will go ahead and connect those two surfaces. Now, another way to trim things away is to create parts that fit together. So, for example, I have this fireplace and I have this curve projected on it, and I want to create a fireplace screen that fits perfectly onto the fireplace. Well, one way to do that is to duplicate this by doing Control D and creating two surfaces. Now, one surface will have everything but the fireplace screen trimmed away. The other one will trim away just the fireplace screen. So let's go ahead and start with this one and go into Surfaces, Trim Tool. And in this one, I want to keep the fireplace itself. Hit enter, and now I've created a nice little hole. Now let's go ahead to this one, and again, select the trim tool, but in this case, I want to select this one and hit enter. And now I've created a piece that will fit perfectly here. So if I were to, say, change the material or something like that, and maybe put a fireplace screen material on that, I can actually create a screen for this fireplace. So as you can see, trimming a NURBS surface in Maya allows you to keep parts of the surface and use a curve to define parts of the surface that simply don't render.